everyone. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm filling in for Alyssa at Sims Therapy. She's taken some time off, and we're going to do an architect home review. Now, I will tell you, you're going to hear the background change every now and then. I have a feeling this is going to be a long video, but we will get through this and we'll get through it together and try to be positive because I've taken a little bit of a peek. But as you see me when I come back, a lot of these are first impressions, so hang in there. All right, I'm back with house number one here, and just looking at the outside, it actually looks like a nice house. It is a little bit boxy for me, but it does have that side there where there's a balcony, and there's a nice sized pool in the back. And then we'll come back around the front here and go inside. So it looks like on either side of this front entryway here, there are a couple of rooms that really don't have anything in them on either side. So I'm kind of confused about that. And then you have a fountain room with a staircase, and then you have a pretty decently laid out kitchen here. A lot of those villa, the big wide bifolding doors, which I love. And you have that pretty wallpaper there in the living room. And then you have a bathroom here with that fan. Not everyone has that fan. There's an extra one of those fans downstairs as well. And there's another one. You just have like this room with an ottoman and a mirror in it. And then there was a staircase room there. This room I think is supposed to be a closet. And then you have a bathroom here. I don't know why I always crack up when I see two toilets beside each other, but I just always think that's so funny. And it looks like the game took the bed out. That is a very nice sized bedroom. And you also get this fireplace. Not everyone has that. I actually think I got that with mystery box keys, but I think it was also available on the online store. And next up is house number two, and looks like a lot of balcony, which, I don't really like, but a lot of people do. And you get a lot of outdoor furniture on that. And then you come back around to the front, and we'll go inside and take a look. Right off, you do have a little basement here with a Christmas tree and candy canes, but I don't think there's any stairs or anything like that. This is more of a traditional kind of French looking room here, and I like how they laid out the room. Then you have a rather large dining room here, and I'm not quite sure. I don't know if I like this room or not. It kind of doesn't match. And then you have a kitchen here, which is laid out pretty nice. And it looks like the game may have taken out a lot of the laundry items in there. And then you have a staircase and what looks like a shoe and coat closet. And then you come upstairs and you have one of those long, skinny kind of bathrooms. You have a bedroom here. So far, I'm not really seeing a lot of items that most of us don't already have. But some people don't have the bunk beds yet, so you do have one of those. And that's pretty much the whole house. So let's move on to house number three. I like the outside of this house. Y'all know how much I love these little houses, and I like to make them over into something cute. So you come into a living room and you get the villa sofas and chairs there, and I've always loved that coffee table. And then you have a cute little galley style kitchen here. And you have an elevator here, which I wouldn't use. I would just use a switchback stairs there. But you have like a washroom here. And then there's a side room over here that's more like a library. I would have made that washroom into a half bath. So then you come upstairs and you just have a hallway here that leads out to a balcony. Actually, you go up the elevator, not the stairs. And then you have the master bedroom with the villa furniture and a cute little bathroom there. So, I might make that house over. I'm not sure yet, but we'll just have to see. All right, house number four, and you probably heard the background change. Like I said in the beginning, I'm doing this in different locations at different times, but that is a lot of plants. It's more of a modern style house, obviously, but wow, that's a lot of plants. You have them inside and outside here. I don't know, that's just not my thing. A lot of people, like I said, like that sort of thing, but you come in the living room and you have the lake house coffee table, so that's good. And then you have the, I believe, Space Shuttle House kitchen there and table. And then you come over here. I think that was a coat closet. And then you have the Space Shuttle bed with French and designer house furniture. I'm not quite sure about that, but you do have a nice bathroom here. I like how they've mixed the dark spa shower with the dark wood villa vanity. So that's the downstairs. And the layout's kind of unique. You come upstairs and you have a landing here, but where are the stairs? Oh, they must have taken them out. They were probably right there. They probably had the Desert Oasis stairs there because they have the railing there. But anyway, you have a decent looking bedroom and you have a bathroom over here that looks like the master. And then you have a sitting area here with the coffee shop, sofas, and chair. So that's a good thing. And the record holder over there. So you get a couple of items in here. It's just not my style of house, but if it's yours, I say go for it. So this is house number 5. It looks like, I can't remember, was it Frozen? This was so long ago, but they've used that exterior, which is not my favorite, and oh my god, those windows don't match. That is one of my pet peeves. So you have a little courtyard here. You come in and you have one of those party tables, and of course the themed wallpaper there. The kitchen's laid out pretty nicely. And then you come over here to the living room, which is actually to the outside. That might be like a, well, it is the living room. I was going to say covered porch, but that's actually the living room that's open to the outside, and a very odd looking bathroom. So then over here you have Latin furniture with French wallpaper. Here you have Desert Oasis couches in case you don't have those, and a wall hanging. Here you have that villa bed that I love. You also have an armoire over there. And then you have that villa vanity that not everyone has in this bathroom as well. But look at the mixture of things. I'm just going to stay positive. We're going to stay positive. So this is house number 6. And I'm just not a huge fan of driving up to a house and seeing band equipment on the roof. But that's just me. There's a slip and slide in the back on the top of the house, and lots of fire pits. You come in. Oh, that's a nice looking entryway. Very nice how they set that up. Then you have sort of a red and black and beige kitchen and a little breakfast area there in the front. I like how that's set up as far as the layout goes. I'm not sure what this is for. I don't know if that's an office or maybe a homeschool room. You have a half bath here. And then coming across the entryway, you have like a music room here. So that's pretty cool. You have a little living room here and another half bath. And just a little sitting area there. That's one of those things that I've talked about before where a lot of people just fill in empty spaces with couches, but that's okay. Then you have a landing up here, which doesn't really have a whole lot in it. And a bedroom here and just a room with a dresser and a toilet. It just has a dresser and a toilet. And then there's nothing in the room beside it. That's very strange. And there was a little tiny nursery over there too. Then you have another bathroom and then a couple of kids' bedrooms here, I guess, yeah. And that's the rest of the house there. No, it's not. We have a 3rd floor, and that looks like a great place for a hangout area there. So that's pretty cool. And another half bath, and then you walk out to where all of the band equipment is, where I guess their kids like to throw concerts for the neighborhood. House number 7. Now this looks pretty nice from the outside. I'm not a huge let's make it a jungle house type person, but I like how they did this. They did it really neatly. I know there's a lot of plants there, but it looks like they did a good job of where to place them. A little too much out here on the patio for me, but I like what they have going on here as far as layout goes so far. I like the shape of the house. I'm not a huge fan of the basement. If I redo this one, I'll take this out, but you get a lot of those older items down there if you don't have them, because some people who are newer players missed out on some of those items. So keep that in mind. And now we're back up here on the first floor. And there's the kitchen there. I like how they've set that up for kind of a small house. And the living room's here with a fireplace. And let's see. They do have that table, which I think came with the socialite event. And then there's the holiday condo vanity and the towel bar there too. So let's go upstairs. Oh man, they didn't even finish it. They didn't even finish the house before they submitted it. That is so weird to me. But now this is a neat idea. They've made a greenhouse inside. So that's pretty cool. I actually don't mind that at all. So, I don't know, just an idea. I probably wouldn't leave it that way. I would make that room something different. But I can definitely see what they were going for here. And then you have a balcony out here with a picnic table and another table over there. But if you look at the house and the layout, I really think this could be remodeled into something really cool. So that's something that I'm going to think about redoing. And again, I would take that basement out. House number 8. This actually looks pretty nice from the outside too. Now, it's not my favorite exterior as far as what they've put on it, but just the shape of it looks really nice. And they have put quite a few things out front, and one of those fountains there, a balcony here, a pool. That is my least favorite patio tile. I don't like that at all, and I don't think it matches the house. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But let's look at the inside to see, well, how do you get in? Where's the front door? Oh, here it is. Okay, so you go in the house, and you have a little entryway with a seating area. And then you come into a very nicely laid out kitchen here. And check this out. Can you just hang those in midair? If so, why have I not discovered that? They just have the stove hood there. I don't know if that's a glitch. That's getting me thinking about doing some things. Maybe you could put something in front of it, like a huge bookshelf or a fireplace, and divide a room up like that. I don't know. Just an idea. But I didn't know that that could actually just be placed there. I thought it had to be against a wall. So here's a little half bath. You get that white villa vanity and a newer toilet in there. And then they have a living room here, which is again very nicely laid out. And I do like how they've taken a lot of the older items and sort of made them work. And then you come up here to a landing, a little sitting area, several little hallways, and then you come into what looks like the master bedroom. And behind it you have like a see-through closet area and another living room here, which I think is just for the master. Yes, it is. And a small master bath with the holiday condo sink and towel bar there. And also I forgot this little part. The laundry room is down there and is separate. So again, I really like the shape of the house a lot. I think the layout's actually pretty interesting. Oh, and you also get that silver fridge there. I think that was a rare item. But as for the layout, yes, I like it. For the inventory, you get quite a few items, like I mentioned before. And this might actually be a house worth purchasing if you like the shape of it and you're interested in those items. So there's that villa bed too. I forgot to mention that. And I did mention the holiday condo items there in the bathroom. So yeah, decent inventory, and I do like the layout. So house number 9 looks very modern, little bit boxy, and oh my gosh, why? Look at these windows. This is one of the reasons that I was really glad Alyssa volunteered to take over the architect home reviews, because I have a lot of patience, but there are just certain things like that that bother me. And I like to look at the positive, like this living room, for instance. You could do a lot with this. It looks very 60s and 70s, and you could really go with that theme in there with that wood paneling and that huge couch and run with that sort of theme with this house. But the windows don't match. There's a laundry room there, a utility room. Here's a small kitchen, and I'm not quite sure why nothing's touching a wall in there. Nothing in here matches. there's a gazebo in just a small room for no reason whatsoever. And then you have an elevator that brings you up to the second floor, a very long hallway here, and then there's an elevator that's pointed in the wrong direction. It goes up to the third floor, and there's no way to get off the elevator. Why? I don't understand that. The game did not do that. The designer did. That is so very strange. So, anyway, between the elevator situation and the totally mismatched windows, I can already tell you I do not like this house at all. It's almost like the further we go into these, the worse they get. Don't get me wrong, you're getting some items here. I mean, if you look around, you're getting some, like the armoire over there, the bookshelf on the wall. If you don't have that chandelier, but you only get one little piece of a couch here in a room that's pink with a peach couch, and it's empty. The next room was empty. This is empty except a bookshelf. And there's no way the game took out all of this. So this was just completely like somebody just threw this together and submitted it. And like I said, none of the windows match. This is the type of house that aggravates me. And it does because, people wait for a very long time if they ever get their house chosen for an architect home. And I know for a fact people in the Facebook group have gorgeous homes that they've submitted and have never gotten picked, and houses like this get picked. Now, if you want to build a house like this and this is your style in your neighborhood, that's great. But my point was, when I used to do these reviews before Alyssa took them over, I would get upset because look at the cost and look at what you're getting. And there are people who submit gorgeous homes who never get chosen, and they choose things like this, and then they want to charge you out the butt to buy them. Let's move on to house number 10. This looks cute. This may be another one I consider. I can already just tell by the outside for remodeling. I don't think Alyssa will be choosing my house for me this week. I think I'll just choose it myself, if that's okay with you guys, and I'm just filling in for her. But I can already tell you I like the outside of this house a lot. I really like the way it's shaped. I already like the size of it, but let's see what it has on the inside. So down here, this is a proper place to put band equipment. Great place to practice, not on the roof. So you come in the front door here. They left a spot and finished up front, but I think that may be a column. I like that bathroom. I think that's really cute. They use new and old in there. And you come in the living room, you get that beautiful fireplace there. And just a nicely set up living room there. And here is the little kitchen and dining area. This is very cute. I would have probably brought the counters over to the wall and used a smaller door, but that's just me. But I like what they used in there. It all goes together and looks very nice. And then you have a bedroom here, and you have another bedroom here that's probably for like a teenager. And again, I'm thinking that might be a column, but I would use that for something. I would put an arch on the outside and put a little seat in there to make it like a little outdoor seating area. But, I like to use those little alcoves. I don't like to use them blank, but a lot of people do, so that's okay. You have a little TV room there, and I saw that coffee shop brown chair there too. This is like a spa room, I guess. Then you have another small bedroom over here, and you have an office here. And then you have another tiny little sitting area, and then a very small nursery. See, I would take that nursery and then open it up there on the left side to the area that just has the couch and make that one room. Does that make sense? Or I would have made it one room to begin with. So this may be something that I redo. Because of the way it's situated, it might be a little bit of a challenge, and I like that. So, I don't know, we'll see. But that's definitely, between this one and the other two I mentioned, I may be redoing one of those. So, this is house number 11. It's looking like it's got some French items, at least from the outside. It does have the Latin patio items out back, though. But it looks more like a French style to me, maybe. So we'll go in and find out. It's another one of these where it just looks like they just put things everywhere. Like there's no purpose whatsoever. Who has a room in real life with a cake in the middle, in the basement, with a couch and a wood bench? Do you know what I'm saying? Why? And then just some cabinets, random cabinets, but a cake, a couch, and a wood bench. None of that goes together. They don't they don't go together. So why would you put them in a room together? That could be a sauna, but they didn't bother to put it in. That looks like it would have been a laundry room. Then you have a spa with dividers there and then nothing. And then here's the first floor, the main entrance. You know, they have a nice dresser in there. It's an older dresser, but they decorated it cute. See, this looks okay. They have a cute kitchen. Something's going on with this room. Okay, first of all, the table is 2 grid wide. Why would you not center the table in the middle of the windows? I wouldn't be able to sleep. I know that sounds silly. And the cabinets, why not bring the same cabinets that you had in the kitchen into the dining area and center the table? I don't understand that. In there is a game room and office, and this is the living room, which could have just been so much more. You know, you have a love seat in there, a TV, and that's it. You come up here and you have the spiral staircase and an elevator. So the elevator brings you up here. You have a nursery here, which actually looks really cute in blue. And then you have a bathroom, and then you have another thing that drives me insane. Just an empty space. Could have been a balcony. That way you could have put a window in the bathroom. You know, you could have continued the balcony up there. I don't understand when you were building the house why you did that. Here is a toddler's room, it looks like. And then we're going to come up to the 3rd floor into what looks like the master bedroom. And see, they decorated this nicely. So the person knows how to decorate. So I don't understand the rest of the house, particularly the basement. In here is, you know, like a family hangout room, it looks like. And that's done very well. But the main living room downstairs only has a love seat. I don't get it. House number 12. There's a lot out here. That's a lot. To me, you bring the house forward and you put this stuff in the back. But that's just my opinion. This is confusing. You have a laundry room here in the middle, and then you have opposing living areas in the basement. So, and 2 sets of staircases. So that's a little bit confusing. Maybe this is a duplex. So you have a living room here and a bathroom beside it. And you have a staircase here that goes down to the basement and up. Okay, so maybe we are looking at a duplex. Then you have like a living room here in red and black. And then over here you have a dining room. And you have a bathroom. I'm trying to figure this house out. And there's another staircase that goes up and down. And here you have like an office and another family room. This is really confusing because the kitchen is not divided up. I'm very confused. This is not a duplex. It's not a duplex. If it is, why would you not divide up the kitchen? Because I don't want to share a kitchen with my neighbor. I just don't. But I'm thinking it's not a duplex. They just decided to mirror rooms, only in different styles on either side. This would have been a perfect opportunity to make a duplex, though, if you had just divided the kitchen into 2 rooms. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't understand that. So this is going to be another one of those homes that really aggravate me. Yeah, that would have been a perfect duplex, but I guess it's not. So you come up to the 2nd floor, and you see you have opposing bathrooms here. You have very long hallways on the sides. There's one on the other side. So everything's kind of mirrored layout-wise, but they didn't divide the kitchen. You have lots of balconies up here. And just even for the shape of it, I'm just not enjoying this house at all. Inventory wise, I think it's okay, especially if you're a newer player. This is house number 13, and this is the last one. And just by looking at the outside, I'm glad it's the last one. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to go through this thing. I just don't like huge buildings. I don't, unless it's like a special project. But maybe that is a special project. Maybe this is just a grand hotel. But looking at the basement, probably not, because look at that room. That wouldn't be suitable for a grand hotel. They do have a theater down there. Nope, this is not a hotel. It's a normal house. Well, I don't want to call it normal. But you walk in and what do we have here? I'm lost. Where's actually the entrance? I think that was it. So you come in the entrance, you come down the hallway, and you come into the living room. And I'm old, and I probably wouldn't be able to see the TV from that distance, but they also have a rabbit in their living room. There were two elevators over there, and that bathroom is very confusing. It has a sink along the wall and a sink island in the middle. This bedroom is kind of strange. Then you have the dining room with a globe. You have the kitchen here. I think they tried to match, but it just didn't work out. An empty space over there. Yeah. So you come up the elevator to the second floor and you find a toddler. No, this is not a toddler's room. It's more like a preteen's room and bathroom. I'm trying to just not spend too much time in here. There's a music room there, another empty room, a room with exercise equipment and more animals. And I'm just looking because I'm really trying to figure out if this is supposed to be a family mansion. This is the most disorganized attempt at a family mansion that I've ever seen in my life. Really. So that, you have this huge house and you have a teenager's room, a preteen room, but you're going to stick a crib in the middle when you have 5 whole floors to make a separate nursery. And what is this? It's a hallway that's completely taken up with odd creatures like, the suit of armor there and the statues. And you have a room on your second floor where you just stick some animals, the poor little things. And then you have a bathroom. You come up, an empty room here. Hey, you know what? You got to give them one thing. The windows match. How about that? There's a bathroom that I don't even know what to say. I still keep coming back to this in my head. What the heck is that? Then you have the other side over here of the third floor with more bedrooms. But you see that crib that they had put down there in the other bedroom, they could have used that empty pink room right there for a nursery. But then you have this. Who wants to sleep with bookshelves at the foot of their bed? Look at this. There's plenty of wall space to put them on. I'm not quite sure why that happened. Then you have another bedroom here and a very long hallway with just a desk. Then you come up here to more emptiness. Just look at this room. I just don't even know. Then you have a room with just dressers, a soccer place, and a podium. Look at all of this empty space. And we're only on the 4th floor. Look at this. You come up to the 5th floor with nothing hardly below it, and you have a huge banquet room. Out of the blue, let's just go up to the 5th floor and throw a party. And then in here you have just a vanity and bookshelves. Here you have just a little bedroom. And all of a sudden, you have a kitchen on the top floor. And there's not even a table in it. Okay, this house aggravates me. But Please remember to check out Alyssa's channel. It's Sims Therapy. She does these every other week. She took them off my hands, and Alyssa, please come back. I miss you. I do not miss doing these architect home reviews because I like being a nice person and they bring out the worst in me. So, for those of you who have hung in there this long and listened to me ramble on about these houses, particularly the last few, I really do appreciate your time, and I apologize for my attitude and for anyone that I have offended, but it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.